thought relationship.
It is May 16th, 7 p.m. I am Dwayne Cofield, host of Drug Dealers to Businessmen podcast. Thank you for joining us for this week's weekly tap in. This is, I believe, episode number 15. No matter of fact, I think it's 16. Yeah, we're on episode number 16 of season 3. Let me just confirm that, man, because we've been rocking and rolling, man. So we want to just make sure that we're giving you guys, yeah, we're on episode number 16, man. And episode is about creating your own luck. So I appreciate you guys for tapping in. As always, man, we could not do it without you. So make sure that you put your city in the comments. If this is your first time tapping in, welcome. We appreciate it. We look for feedback. I got some questions that I will answer towards the end of the podcast about business structure. So shout out to Sam in Atlanta for asking that question that hopefully everybody can benefit from when we talk about setting up business structures, LLCs, and things like that. So make sure you guys hit me up. He took advantage of that last week. I talked about that. Sending me an email. Ask me a question, man. Let's get it answered. Um, you know what I'm saying? We'll get it answered. If I can answer it, I put on my professor hat. I'm a research like nut, so I just research everything no matter what. I was looking up restaurant design books. We're still about 2 or 3 years out, and that's hard to say, right? But along the same lines of what we're talking about now, we're talking about creating our own luck. And one of the things first thing you could do with creating your own luck, one of the first moves is speaking it into existence. Your conversation has to reflect where you're headed, right, in life, right? Where am I going? What do I want to do? You have to set plans. It's impossible to navigate anywhere. Everybody, you guys have often heard that analogy where people talk about the navigation system. You have to put a destination in there, right? It'll give you how to get there, detours, how to save time. Like Google will give you that, hey, man, you can save 5 minutes by going this direction. That's how life works as well. But you got to first thing you have to do is you have to put in some type of input. You have to say, hey, this is where I'm trying to go in life. So the first thing I said was we want to open up a chicken franchise, right? We got some fire chicken too. It was confirmed this weekend. I just go ahead and put that out there, right? The chicken is bomb. And we're getting people coming back like, hey man, my family's critical about chicken. One cat that shout out to the Corvette Club who came through, was like, my family real critical about chicken and y'all chicken is fire. Da, 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 da. And people didn't have to come back and tell us that, right? So we were cool with that. But nonetheless, it was confirmation of what we already had put out there. And this is another way we're talking about creating our own luck. The second thing you want to do with creating your own luck is take action. What's going on, Sam? I'm gonna answer your question at the end of this podcast too. I just gave you a shout out, so I appreciate the question and the email. I can give you stuff as well, but I found out some good information. Nonetheless, appreciate you sending that question in, man, because we got to ask questions so that I can give you guys information if you're kind of gray on things like that. Branding as well. Business structure, things like that is easy. The hard part is where the branding, right? The selection of logos, the calligraphy, your color scheme, all these different things really matter. And getting your product right. That's the key too, making sure you get your product right. We're finally got our tours right. It took us 4 years to get that right. So we finally got that right. Took us, I want to say about 5 years to get the hair right. Right. And it's going to take some time. We just finished up our first year. We're going on our second year with the chicken. But again, these are all things that I've seen years ago. And one of the hardest parts about creating your own luck is the patient part, right? You could do the visualization, you could do the action, but until the universe is ready to give you what you're asking for, you won't receive it. Right. And there may be a lot of reasons why you don't receive it at that time. You got to be patient. Don't jump the gun. Don't start to do something else that may distract you, that may get you in trouble. Don't do any of that. What's up, John? I see you on board. Appreciate you tapping in. And great too. What's up, homie? I see you tapping in too. Appreciate that. I also wanted to give a shout out to some of the new countries that tapped on. South Africa. We appreciate you tapping in. Portugal, Sweden. Who else did I see? New Zealand. All you cats, UK is our second highest listening audience, man. So shout out to England. those people over there in England. Um, what's up? What's going on? I think that's CJ. What's up, homie? Shout out to the NAP. My local people, you know what I mean? I appreciate the South Central love. I appreciate the local state love, and also that worldwide love that we're getting right now. Again, like I said, UK is our second highest list in Canada, Mexico, but um different parts. Let me see where else. Greece, Spain. So shout out to you guys for listening and tapping in, man. We couldn't do it without you, man. So we're trying to bring it every time we hop on here, and we're trying to bring it on a weekly basis. So again, creating your own luck. First thing you want to do is visualize. You got to see it, man. Visualization. It can take the form of meditation. It could take the form of going to look at it. My first apartment when I got to LA wasn't where we ideally wanted it, right? Crazy part about what's up, Tanisha? Appreciate you tapping in. Wasn't where we wanted it. And I may have told the story in the past. You guys may have heard it, but that was visualization. I went to where I wanted to move to. I didn't care. I went over there, went to the neighborhood, drove around there, said, man, that's the spot right there. And when we first got to LA, that it wasn't that they denied us. It was that my mentality didn't believe that I could get it. So I didn't even try. That was the crazy part about it, right? This is another big lesson. Don't make the assumption that you can't get something, that you can't obtain something, that you can't. Like here I am looking at leasing restaurant. Who's to say I can't buy a fucking building? Right? Because I'm sitting there thinking small because God may have something way bigger for me. So sometimes you got to think way bigger than what you kind of think you want. You know what I'm saying? Because what we think we want and what God can provide are two completely different worlds. Right? God can give us everything, can take us from here to there. And you're like, man, how did I get here? Quit thinking small. You know what I'm saying? You may think, oh, I got to start this way or start that way. You don't know what God's blessing is going to be. Right. So just follow your heart. If your heart is telling you that you can do something big, that this is a big deal for you or whatever the case may be, then follow that. It's really important that you do. Right. Taking action. Second step, you have to take some action, meaning that it doesn't matter. You can go again, set up your LLC, right? Which is it can be, everybody's got these questions about S Corp, this and this. And the S Corp is not an actual entity, not a way to set up your entity. It's mainly sole proprietorship, partnerships, and LLCs, right? And the other stuff is kind of how you set up your corp. That you got C Corps, but if you're just starting out, you talk LLCs, and that's we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I promise you, we'll get to that. But you got to do that. That can be a step that you take. Setting up your DBA can be another step that you take. Building your logo. I don't care what kind of logo it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Naming your business. What do I want to name my business? Let me try out a couple names and spend a whole night. Fuck it. And come up with something. I don't care what it is. The universe will adapt and adjust that ass. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Get started. That's the main thing. It's kind of one of those things. You got these opposing forces. Get started, but be patient. Right? Get cracking, but hold up. Right? Because that's the dilemma that we have to deal with. Once we get cracking, we're expecting immediate results. You guys have seen that commercial with the dudes on the Peloton, the insurance guy, and he's like, I went from 0 to like 1,000 in 3 days. Like, you can't do that, because what's going to happen is you're going to fizzle out. And a lot of times our dreams and our goals are just like a female or a dude that we chasing, man. We get too much up on that ass, they're going to start to resent us. So we got to put our best foot forward, but don't neglect everything else, all the other gifts that God's given us, which is family time, other opportunities to connect with the homies, friends, whatever the case may be. Don't neglect that part. But you got to be patient, but at the same time, you got to take action. And it doesn't have to be a big giant, hey, I'm doing this, I need to announce it. It could be a little something here. It could be listening to this here. It could be buying this here. I got a restaurant booked and I'm still finishing up, and it was talking about bar space. And I'm like, man, why am I listening to this? And I said, there's a reason why. God telling you to listen to it right now. And it's talking about bar space and how far the bar stools need to be away from each other. Because here I am thinking small again. All you want is a chicken spot. Well, what if you can get a chicken and you can put a bar in there? You learned about it. Here I am giving you the gift. You already have the tools. Quit thinking small, homie. And this is when the universe starts nudging. You're like, okay, well, shit. And the reason why I know this stuff is powerful, man, when I tell you guys, I promise you, I've created the life that I want. I just went on a bike ride today at the beach chilling. When they shrimp, my son was off from school. We was chilling down there. And I'm like, man, I'm in LA doing what I want to do. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to write. I'm learning how to write. So I'm doing papers. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I got businesses. They're not, I don't compare them to shit. I compare them to me not having nothing. Because if I start comparing them to all these other people, well, imagine if I started comparing them to Circuit City, right? When I was a little electronics store, and I'm like, man, I can't even get like Circuit City. You can't find a Circuit City right now. Man, if I'm a restaurant, man, look at Hometown Buffet. They killing it, man. It's a line out the door for them greens and you can't find a Hometown Buffet. And my whole point is, a lot of times we sit up there wishing upon a star, wishing that we can be in a different position instead of creating our own damn luck. You in the position you in because you're supposed to be there. Either you're supposed to take action or you're supposed to be patient and wait for it to come to you. Now, I'll say this with the patient and wait for it to come to you. You still have to put your intentions and actions in some form in order to get that ball rolling. So you got to go out there. Library. I was up on, okay, somebody has said something about restaurant design books all at the library. I told y'all I tried to reach out to this dude who designs all the restaurants around here. Wouldn't help me, which is fine. Wouldn't even respond to my email, wouldn't respond to my, I'm like, cool, no problem. Moving on. All you're going to do is force me to learn another skill. Same thing happened when I tried to do the tours. Man, nobody will help. Oh, man, I'll charge you $1,500. Man, 15 my ass, dog. I go to this library. I'll Google it. I'm going to figure it out. I've always had to figure it out my entire life. I've always had to create my own lane. I've always had to learn how to do it my damn self. I've always had to learn how to create my own fucking luck because it wasn't happening for me. Wasn't nobody giving me shit. So I had to go create it, right? Wasn't nobody in LA. Wasn't nobody out here. Nah. Let me go hit a couple corners and make this shit pop. You know what I'm saying? Let me go over here and meet this person. Let me go over here and get this job over here. Let me go over here and learn this game. Wooty wham, and next thing you know, I'm in here. I'm out here putting the paint where it ain't, homie. So you can't tell. I got the girl I wanted. I got the house I wanted. I got the kids I want. You can create your own luck. It starts with your mentality first, though. What do you see? What do you want? What are you speaking about every day? Because what you speak about is what you're going to get, right? It's like I told you guys, it's just like surfing. What you keep your eye on is which way you headed. So you keep your eye on the ground, you keep talking to nothing ass people, that's where you'll be. And your cutoff game's got to be strong, man. You got to be disciplined to the point to where I don't have time to drift. Not on your shit. Not with you. Not with your idea. Not with this bogus ass whatever you doing. Not with this short-term shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you hop on somebody else's train, you don't know where that shit's stopping at. Right? You have no idea where it's going or where it's stopping at. So I'm not hopping on nobody else's train. I'm doing the D money dance. That's my shit. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be like that. It's not to the point of where you calling it arrogant or whatever the case or hubris. No, it's just being confident enough to know that God gave me the vision. I wouldn't have this vision if God didn't give it to me, man. I wouldn't be thinking about it. Trying all this stuff. We trying strawberry drinks, man, getting them off. Learning the business, taking time, right? And I get impatient. I see other people popping up with stuff, putting stuff together. And I'm like, man, that's cool. And I go in there and I talk to my wife and she tell me off the top, calm down. We got a 3-year plan. We perfected the flour, right? We're already talking about bagging that shit and trying to put it in bonds. So that's the next stage we on, right? Here I am thinking about just fried chicken. We about to do, it's going to be the double whammy, right? We'll have it packaged. Man, this season is fantastic. Yeah. And you can buy a 6 or 7 ounce bag on your way out and a t-shirt. Recipe for the gizzards is on there. Recipe for the chicken is on there. You too can make this chicken at the house. That's our goal, right? Didn't even realize it, but she's sliding. Okay, we got the seasoning down. Bam. Got it. Now we just introducing these, trying stuff. Doesn't matter if we sink or swim. This is all in the big giant experiment. I saw Deion Sanders talk about today. Man, ain't no such thing as a bad day. You got so much power and control. You listen to Kendrick Lamar. He even said it to him. I got so much power. We have so much power. We have yet to reach our potential. We're not even tapping on it. When you realize how much brain power, how much you can control your situation by how you think, just by how you think, not circumstance. I can think my way out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I could think my way into reciprocity, right? Or I'm sorry, not reciprocity, but serendipity, right? I can think my way into this shit. I could think my way over here. I could think my way into this college, right? By my will and determination, in addition to the universe looking out for your partner, man, it's going to happen. Period. I got a you can't convince me otherwise attitude about it. Impossible, man. You might as well get ready, man. If you're gonna sit there and watch, get some popcorn, homie. Because it's gonna happen. Once I say it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Period. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know when, I don't know how. Forget the how. We cannot get caught up in the how. Once we start getting caught up in the how and wanting to know, man, how y'all making sausage back here? You getting in God's business, right? Because that's for him to try to figure out. It's not for you to try to figure out. Because then you're going to go tell, oh, man, all God doing is this. Nah, man, he ain't going to let you know the secret. Next thing you know, you should have it by now. Next thing you know, it should already exist, right? How did I get this? How did this? Man, it just lined up perfectly. You keep believing. And I know they talk that stuff at church. I get it, which is the good part about church, right? That belief part. You got to have that undeniable faith where I can't see anything, right? I just dropped the video when Nipsey Hussle talk about keep going, right? Get so far where it makes no sense to turn back. I'm so far now, we done got another 10. Ain't no turning back. We ain't packing it in and selling fryers. Hell nah. We trying to figure out how we can do it. We trying to get our Shabazz on. And if you've been to any jazz festivals in California, you know about Shabazz. 2 or 3 booths, lines around the corner, getting off fish and chicken. I know Muriel personally. Shout out to Shabazz. Some of the best you can taste. If you go to, like I said, you've been to any jazz festivals in LA, you know what time it is. But that's what level hey, homie. And my family it was a beautiful situation this weekend watching my family make a dream come. Make a conversation based on somebody burnt chicken. Went and bought some burnt chicken. Was like, man, this shit is not good. Next thing you know, my mom, you can make, well, we got a business. At least an idea. We can test the shit out of it and see if it pops. So far, it's not bad. It's working, right? Whenever we get out there, people know what time it is. It's starting to get the reputation to be known. And that's what it takes, just levels, man. Just keep speaking it. I speak it every time I pop on here. You guys ever noticed that yet? Every time I hop on here, I speak some stuff. I'm trying to, man, I need prayer. I need y'all to say yes. I need the universe and everybody cooperating as much as I can. And you need to do the same thing, right? You can create your own luck. What do you want? We had that conversation with like the waiter, right? Just sitting there, guy, like, man, come on, man. What do you want? We'll cook it. We'll get to it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be impatient. Don't come here hungry and desperate, but we got you. We'll deliver it. It'll get to your table, right? But what do you want? You ain't put in your order yet. You ain't even put in the directions. How you don't know how to get there? Where you gonna know the boss will laugh at? Oh, you didn't know they had a detour here? Because detours are part of the game too. Detours is where you could pick up some golden nuggets or what the hell you don't want. A detour take you down that street. You know what? I'm cool. I was thinking about getting a house on the street, but this detour convinced me, hell no. Nah. Right? This detour convinced me, not happening, homie. I'm good. So a lot of them, and you go back, you like, man, I went down that street. Oh, they closed the whole shit. Yeah, dog. Glad I went down to Russ. I would have had no idea what to look for. And that's where experience comes. So, right. So when we talk about creating our own luck, we got to visualize, we got to put into action. We got to be patient, right? And we got to have people around us that are speaking life into us, right? We don't need people hating on us, man. Hating is contagious. Hating has weight. But so does belief and faith, right? But we got to surround ourselves with those type of people. And if we can't, we need to surround ourselves with the type of tools that equivocate to the same power. And those are books. Those are audibles. I was about to buy Audible right now. Right before we got on here, I already have the book. And it's called Ask and This is Given. You see me, Ray? I didn't even have to pull it up. Law of Attraction. I need that constantly on rotation, right? As much as Kendrick, because Kendrick is spitting too. Don't get me wrong. He owns some other shit with that one too. But I need that constantly in rotation because I'm constantly fighting with ideas. Now I'll give you guys another example, right? How Much a Dollar Really Costs is one of them songs that really stick with me. And if you guys ever listen to Kendrick, it was on the one before Damn, I think. But it was called How Much a Dollar Really Costs, and it was talking about when people begging for money or whatever, asking for money at the store, and how it can cost you your blessing by you trying to judge them. And it popped on me, right? So I was somewhere in the valley, somewhere doing something, and dude came up to my car and was like, well, I just brushed him off. I didn't even listen to him. And that song came on in my head. How much a dollar really costs, ticket to heaven. I'm like, man, right? So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm pulling off, you know what I'm saying? And we got a new car, so it's cool. And so I pull off, and I'm like, that song just pop on in my head, and I'm like, let me turn around. I turned around, went back and apologized. I said, you know what, homie? I said, I didn't even listen to you. I didn't even hear what you had to say, and that's not me. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize, and he was like, man, it's all good, bro. Hit him with a little something. He was like, nice car, bro. Really nice car. I was like, cool, appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But so let me tell you how that one worked. Let me tell you the flip side to that story. So I back out there, I think last night or the night before. I'm already prepared. I'm like, I see a cat out there. I'm like, you ain't gonna get me this time, right? And so I got my dollars, a couple dollars out. I'm like, I already got it separated from what I'm about to do in the store, anyways. Fool turned his back, spin off. Already know who that was. And that was just the test. The first one was the test, and I passed it. So the second time, there was no need. He spun off, turned his back on me, went the other way, went to start talking to some other fool, and then spun off. I was like, oh. And God was just testing me that first time. Let me see what your intentions are. Right? Let me see if you're going to continue to be, because you did it that time. Let me see what you're going to do this time. And I passed. And that's the way it works, man. You go out there and you'll get tested, right? Till you pass that test, your blessing's gonna be, and you never know, right? And even before then, like this week, this was a past early part of this week, I was being tested for my helpfulness, right? Because I was talking about helping people. And one of the things that you have to do if you ever want to get ahead, you got to help more people. So I had like 4 people hit me up for advice this past week. And I just spent time with each one of them, just gave. And one of the cats that he's been a constant taker, right? And God just keep telling me, like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, hey, man, asking me stuff and don't say thank you and this and that. And I'm like, but if I'm looking for that, then I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. If I'm looking for thank yous, if I'm looking for praise, if I'm looking for all this extra shit, then what am I doing it for, right? I should be doing it for my intention alone. Why are you doing it? Because I want to help people, right? Not I want to help people to say thank you. That's conditional love, right? Right. I want to help people that be appreciating it. I want to give people a gift as long as they wear it and they say it was from me, right? What kind of shit is that? That's selfishness. That's not true giving. That's not a gift. You got to give a gift with no strings attached. You got to walk away and say, you know what? I don't care how you take it. Me giving you a gift had nothing to do with your response at all. Because if it did, then I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. Period. So that's another part of creating. No, we got to give without strings attached. We can't have, nah. I'm not looking for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, right? I know people say thank you. I appreciate it, Tanisha, for sure. But that's not why I'm doing it. I can't do it for that. Because if I do it for that, when the thank you stop, then I stop. Right? When the applause stops, then I stop. Right? When there's nobody there cheering, when I don't have anybody watching, then I stop. I've been doing this when there was nobody watching. When everybody was watching on the replay, like, oh, D talking about something. Yeah. After the fact. But not during, and that's the crazy part about it. You got to do things without any expectations. Nothing. I don't know what's going to happen. I know what my intentions are, right? My intentions are, when we created our hair company, was to create a better experience for these ladies. They spend hundreds of dollars, and these cats won't even tell them thank you. Won't give them shit, right? So we changed that game, right? cannabis industry. None of these cats is looking out for the brothers and sisters when they come out here to find out about weed. I can make a better situation than that. Boom. Chicken, right? All this chicken tastes the same, that we can make a better product than that. Boom. What's your intention? None of them was to make a shitload of money, because if that's the case, then you taking away from the system. The whole point of getting money is that you can do more with it, right? It's a tool. Once we start getting it caught up with, oh, we need to stack it, we need to play with it, we need to show it. That's like showing off hammers and chisels. Ooh, look at my hammer, dog. I got a gang of, man, these are tools, dog. That's it. Show me what the accomplishment is. Show me the smile on the kid's face. That's when I know it's real, right? Don't floss something. I see cats and they going to get, there's all kind of stuff going on. I'm just saying, though, these is tools. Let's not get caught up in the tools. Let's get more caught up in what they can do for us. So we should accumulate more so that we can do more. That's the intention, right? We should. What are we going to do? How are we going to? I wanted to get my family closer together. I wanted to give my family opportunities, because I know that I hated going to ask these people for jobs, and I didn't want my family to have to feel like that. So that's why we created the businesses we created. That's it. That's why I went to business school, so that I can create businesses so that my family didn't have to ask these people for shit. That's the intention, right? Legacy. We talking legacy, to create something. I always talk about on some Tabasco shit, where we selling something and everybody in here that's a manager is a cousin, family member, brother, sister, something. Because I sit there and watch that food built, and that's exactly what they had popping. Roscoe's got the same thing popping. There's a lot of relatives in there. That's the same thing we doing, right? Keeping it all family. We had it all family. My son came and worked, was handing out drinks. The youngest son was handing out orders, calling out orders. This stuff is going to reflect, right? It may not seem like shit now, but it like somebody got to get it started. Create your own luck. Let's get something started. It may not be me that reaps the benefits. It may not be me that gets the big giant mansion, but I got it started. What was my intention? To get them that, right? To get them that, not me. I'm cool. I satisfied my ego, man. I was getting paper at a younger age, so that wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now it's more, what can I do? Experiences. That's why you don't never see me stunting nothing, man. That's not in my DNA. Back in my day, that'd get you robbed and killed. You got to be low with your shit, and like they doing right now, a RICO indictment. You keep stunting and playing with these folks, man. I done seen it. Nah. Too much other stuff to do. Speaking of which, you talk about business setups, right? When I just got finished teaching a retail class, and that whole setup, I'm still learning that, right? I can teach it, but you still learn things, right? Space, design, things are changing right now. Dual drive-throughs, right? What kind of technology do we want? They're cooking fries, chicken, hamburgers. Do we want robots? Do we want it on autopilot? What do we really want? That's a good question. I don't know where it's headed, right? So God's going to slow me down in order for me to understand it a little bit more. I'm okay with that. You gotta read. And that's what I got. The QSR magazines, I get them constantly coming to my house so that I'm up on what restaurants are doing. This is where my interest is going. I've realized I'm a creator. That's it. So I want it to be a nice experience when you walk in there, a certain smell, a certain tone, a certain light, a certain ambiance. These are things that I'm learning. Yes, indeed. Yeah, you can't, in terms of materialistic stuff, it gets old. That's why I don't trip off of cars. I'm like, man, you seen an old Benz? It was new at one point in time, and they thought it was the shit. So I mean, it's that stuff is whatever. You know what I mean? I'm more in love with my experiences. The thing I remember about my Tahoe, I had a white Tahoe with TVs in there, was whatever. But the fact that my kids got to play what was that? What was it? It was a PS1. It was Dreamcast and PS1. And they got to play Def Jam, the fighting game. That's what I remember. The fun things that they have. Other than that, it was a pain in the ass. Right? You got beat in there. They stole my music, stole my TVs. It was thieves. It's like whatever. So the materialistic stuff I was kind of staying away from. I'm more or less working on legacy now. Books is my floss. My book selection, right? That's it. What am I reading, right? Is what's coming out of my mouth. And when people ain't talking about shit, that tells you what they're reading. Right? When I'm talking about positivity, I'm talking about visualization, I'm talking about creating a mindset that expects things, right? Not to the point of disappointment, but to the point, is that an earthquake? Yeah, I think we just had one. Still going? Man. Anyways, I felt like one, might have been one. But so the thing to the point that I'm making with the create your own luck is start to walk in that direction. Period. Start to walk in that direction. Visualize it and put in the work. Speak it. What do I want? Starts with visualizations. What's going on, family? Starts with visualizations. What do I want out of life? What do I want it to look like? So I'm already starting to see. I see the design, red. What kind of music we're going to play? What kind of paintings we're going to have on the wall? We're going to Virginia. I'm going to Virginia on the chicken mission to take original pictures so that I can take them back and put them in the restaurant. My vision is already on. We're paying homage to the waiter carriers, right, of Virginia, who started this fried chicken shit, right? So that's what in terms of design. So I'm already speaking it. I want to have pictures on the wall of celebrities who've tried our chicken, sign an autograph, similar to a Roscoe's Field. And we're gonna start off with a small ass restaurant. That's cool. But my mind is on something way bigger, right? I just saw E40 going to a dude that he started off in a food truck out here, the Blue Restaurant. He went there, was taping it and all that, paying homage, right? Our turn's coming. Our turn is coming. We putting in the work now. We doing festivals. We out here. We grinding it out. I'm up here lifting fryers, pouring oil, frying French fries, putting in the work, creating my own damn luck. I'm not waiting on nobody to tell me when. I'm not waiting on nobody to tell me what time to go hustle. It's time to go hustle, D. You ain't got to tell me shit. And usually when I'm on this type of stuff, it's like everybody jump, oh, restaurant. Yeah, why not? We love food. We cook food, make it an experience. We're in LA, that's what we got going on. So taking that, creating hey, things line up. Yeah, you got to. The main thing is you got to start and you got to jump if you don't have it figured out. You don't even have it. Sometimes you got to jump. You ain't got no. Man, I ain't got no damn parachute or shit. I don't know how this thing works. But you got to take a leap of faith. You got to start. And I don't care how you start and how small it is. Start. One plate, one menu item, one product. You don't have to start big. We compare ourselves to what other people doing, and that's our biggest mistake. First thing we do. Let me compare myself to this person who's been around for 5 or 6 years or who has other problems. Oh, they failed doing this. I don't care what they did. That's not on me. That's their destiny, right? Mine is mine. Mine may work, and that's the idea you need to have. If you make a 24-hour restaurant, you're going to your first month. Yeah, well, that's the thing, and we don't know what's going to happen. And I'm okay with that, right? Because once we start to try to pinpoint too much of it, so you'll see me back off. I'll go real narrow on it. I'll go, oh man, I want this, and then I'll back off. Because I can't sweat the universe. I can't put my foot on the universe's neck and just force it to do what it wants to do. I give it the suggestions. I give it my intentions. Then I have to go do what I need to do with my family. I have to go do what I need to do with my students. I need to go out to do what I do on my podcast, right? Because these are the things that are going to get me the blessings. Not because I'm doing it for the blessings, but this is because you can change people's lives just by the art of suggestion, just by introducing people to books, just by introducing them to concepts, just by introducing them to ideas. You can have a profound effect on their entire family. And when you have that type of power, right? Each one of us has this individual power because no matter what level we're at, there's always somebody watching us looking for an excuse to get better. And the reason we need to give them an excuse to get better is by our own way, right? How we're getting better, right? They're watching us. Oh, D, you trying this? Oh, okay, bam, let me try this. I was just telling my wife, I love the fact we picked up hiking. We hike together. I don't hike with anybody else than my wife. That's it. That's my hiking partner. Period. So when we go places, we scoping them out. What hike we go? We got the boots. She got the sticks. We got water bags. That's it. We doing it. You know what I'm saying? Putting it in motion. Not taking no shorts, man. When I can influence my homeboys to get them to hike, to get them to start thinking about opening up businesses, this is how you change the freaking world when we think we can't change the world. So you make it a good 24-hour staff, you're gonna kill it. Oh yeah. Yeah, indeed. We'll look at that too. But that's the key right there, right? So even you guys are speaking into it 24 hour. That's what I'm saying. You got to put it out there. People are going to suggest things for you. It's going to make you nervous too, because they're going to take you to heights that you may not even think you could take it to. But that's okay. You gotta be like, all right, cool. Whatever guys got in store for me, right? Because I saw a building the other day and I was like, oh, that'll be a nice spot. I was like, oh, that's for sale. I'm like, what the fuck I mean? Oh, it's for sale. Like, why you can't get it? You know what I'm saying? And that's the attitude. But why it ain't for me? Why I can't take that whole thing? Got the parking lot. It got what? What am I doubting myself? Oh man, you looking for man? Chill, homie. Get your stuff together. Learn your game. Perfect your recipe. Get your ducks in order. Get your menu. Chill out. Put the stuff layer. Get your book. We putting our book together of our recipes. So we got our recipe, our prep recipe, our lemonade recipe. We doing all that, right? We put it all together step by step and being patient in the process. We ain't rushing nothing, right? Cat came up talking about an Asian dude that cooked chicken really good. And he was precise on his time. And he said he wasn't adjusting it for anybody in the crowd. He wasn't rushing doing shit. And I said the same thing, man. Don't rush, man, because other people applying that pressure on you. Because you feel like you got to compete with everybody else when it's their time to shine. Man, the sun goes around the entire world. Nobody misses the sun. Even the ones up north and south. They may not get a lot of it, but they get some type of sunlight, right? So the sun goes around and gives it for everybody. Everybody gets a time to get their sunshine on. Be patient with yours. And when I'm like shout out to the homegirl Tanisha with the you better do it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be patient with yourself in the same time. Like, man, I'm gonna do it, but I'm cool. I'm not gonna kill myself and beat myself up if I don't make these milestones that are unrealistic because I don't know when they got started. I don't know who's helping them. I don't know what part of the blessing train they on. I don't know shit, but only thing I know is what I see. And oftentimes you just seeing what you see on the surface, like right, the bamboo root. You won't see nothing, but the whole time it's getting rooted. So you may be getting rooted the whole time. People may not see much progress. They may not see anything. I'm like, damn, you just stacking stuff. Nah. With the hair, we building up our Yelp profile. Now we got clients that been with us for 5 or 6 years solid. That's building customer, right? You know what I'm saying? 5 or 6 years, I mean, ain't deviating. Some people that went outside and got hair from other places came back to the crib. Oh man, that's the thing, right? So what you gonna do? You gonna deal with somebody who got the same hair and then worse customer service? Huh? And we just be patient. We don't talk shit. We don't down nobody. We just chill and let things come to us. And man, like I said, we working on our 100th review, man, and we have 4.5 stars, like damn near 5. So this is God working, man. This is creating our own luck. Said we wanted celebrity clients, man. We had celebrity clients, right? Don't want them anymore. Now I'm just playing, but we had that. How do you create your own luck? Be in the right position. Get yourself in order. You got to get in motion. You can't catch a pass if you ain't in the game. So you got to get in the game, dog. You can't get. I can't get any stats if I haven't. Man, I go DBA. Start with that. You can always go to the LLC. Start with a DBA. Get your DBA, which is doing business as. You can start with the courthouse. So one of the questions that once somebody, shout out to Sam if you're still on, that he had a question about whether he could start. What's going on? He had a question about whether you could do an LLC and create businesses in other states. So say, for instance, if you have an LLC in California, if you have an LLC in Nevada, can I create a business doing business as in LA? Yeah, you can. So in Texas, wherever, you just got to go to whatever you're housing your business, you got to go through the Secretary of State. So for example, I think he's in Georgia. You go to Georgia, I think it's $100 fee to get your LLC in Georgia, and then you go set up DBAs in other states. And what that means is you go to their courthouse and or whatever their city. Some people have it at the courthouse, some people have their own business licensing deal, and you go set up a DBA and get your business license there. And basically what your LLC does is act like it's the owner of that company. And when you set up an LLC, you're basically removing yourself from liability, right? It's a limited liability company, right? So you're removing yourself from liability, and you can run your taxes through there. So your personal taxes, it could be added to, I think it's like a Schedule A or something like that. You could add it to your personal taxes, and a lot of that stuff you can deduct or add. It could be rent. If you have a home-based business, you can allocate some. If you're using a car, you're leasing a vehicle, you can use that as an expense as well. When you go on dinners, vacations, as long as you talk about business, you can use those as write-offs as well and part of your taxes. So I'm not a tax expert, so I would always refer you guys to talk to a tax attorney or an accountant, or do your Google, do a pretty thorough research, and you should be able to obtain that. But in terms of setting up your structure, yeah, you want to do that. I think California is one. It's under $200, but you set up your LLC. You do a LLC search. And oftentimes people ask the question, should I name my LLC the same as I name my DBA? Now, me personally, I say try to differentiate, right? So you want your LLC not to be pigeonholed. You don't want, like, our LLC is not Cheryl's Famous Fried Chicken. So we have an LLC, and we put Cheryl's Famous Fried Chicken under the LLC. So that's who actually owns that business, is the LLC. But we own the LLC. Now you could have different partners and members of the LLC, and you could split that up depending on, how you set up your LLC. And there's a lot of information online for that. But people ask about S Corp, and S Corp is not a business structure. It's a tax. It's a way to tax your business. So look into S Corps. If you guys are interested in S Corp, I can add more information about that. But in terms of us, LLC was sufficient for us. It worked. And we were able to put all our businesses under there. So the tour business, the hair business, and all that under there. Now, each one of those DBAs can have their own seller's permit. So for example, like, we have seller's permits you get through the state as well. And that's a wholesaler permit. And what that allows you to do is to go purchase materials, products, no taxes. You charge the tax, and then you give the tax to the state on a monthly basis. However you guys have it set up, you would allocate that tax to them, but you would collect the sales tax, and you get bulk, you get discounts, or whatever the case may be, by getting that wholesaler permit. But you must be selling a product. You don't need a wholesaler's permit if you're doing a service, similar to what our tour company. We don't sell a product, so we don't charge a tax. It's just a service, so there's no tax on that. I'm trying to think what else I can say on the LLCs. But it's a great source. I pick, if you guys are looking at steps in terms of setting up your business, come up with the idea. See if anybody else is out there doing anything like that. Do a search online. See if there's another business in the area. Look at how they're set up. Look at how their website's set up. There's no new ideas. You're not stealing anything, but you're trying to get an idea on how to get started. How many products do they have? What are they selling? How are they selling it? What are they featuring? Do they have PayPal? What's their payment system? And as you go, you'll start to learn more and more things. Buy the book. Go on Amazon, do a search, best restaurant books or best clothing store books, and buy the book. Do the research. Walk through it. You'll get it. The way the universe works is, once it starts to see you taking steps towards your dream, it'll start to provide the information to you. I guarantee you that that's a given. So once you start to grab the books, hitting the library is a great place to be, right? Because you're going to read the books. You're going to be around other people who are already reading. Anybody tells you don't read, stop talking to them immediately. I'm going to just tell you that right now. Two things. I don't read, and school's not for me. Let them go. I'm going to tell you that right now. And the reason being is because they're basically saying, I'm not interested in learning anything, right? Now, if they say I listen to audibles on a regular basis and things like that, I just, I just don't process things. Okay, we can ride with that. But if they say school's not for me and I don't read, leave their ass alone. I'm just telling you. And that's just my personal opinion, because I feel like those are the two places that you can grow the most. is in a book or in school. And it doesn't matter what time, how, where, it doesn't matter. It's just a learning environment, and the fact that you have professionals that are teaching you are going to expose you to things. The more I'm at the university, the more I get exposed to all type of stuff, right? And they got this big giant library that's telling me to go do research. So I'm gonna take advantage of it, right? I'll spend a lot more time in there, and I'll do a lot more projects because I have that type of information. So I hope that helped you guys. If you guys are more interested in business type information, then I could definitely drop it more. Strategy, promotional strategy, branding. But I'm one of the ones that just says try it. There's no perfect formula for any of this shit. And you'll start to realize the more you dig on people, how they got started, they didn't start to where they were. And then they started this, they did this, they messed up. So try to find those stories that are relatable to where you are in your journey, right? And start to create your own damn luck, man. You could do it. It is not impossible. It starts with a mental commitment to your dreams and goals, right? And that everything that verbally coming out of your mouth is not going to downplay your goals, not going to downplay your efforts. It's not going to do any of that, right? My email is, let me put it in here so I can put that. You guys want to get at me, send me stuff that you want answered on the next weekly tap in. It is cofield@gmail.com. That's COFIELD@gmail.com. Feel free. And I just put that in the chat as well. You guys can tap in and send me emails. Like I said, if I don't know, I'll do the research for you. We're going to learn together. This is a commitment to to all of us, right? And one of the things I told you guys, I'm on that talented 10 shit. Period. We go learn this stuff and we bring it back to the neighborhood. Oh yeah. So what I'm still reading. I'm about to buy that book. So I'll show you guys again. I'm about to grab this. I already have the book, but it's a and I'll pull it up right now. Ask and it is given. So I'm about to buy this book right now, and I'll show you guys. So I like to do that, man. That's, like I said, that's one of my flexes is my book game. I'm a big I flex on that. So I'm about to grab this Ask and It's Given by Esther Hicks. They're big on the attraction, law of attraction. So anything law of attraction related, they're on. And the reason, like I said, the reason why I believe it's so tough is I have exactly what I want. I mean exactly what I want. So there's so much power in that. And one having gratitude for it. So don't get me wrong, I am hella thankful. But what I'm trying to do is share the recipe to everybody else so that you guys can get what you want. Once you get what you guys want, and the world starts to understand the process on getting what you want, and it starts with this mental picture right up here. What do you see? And that's why you have to change your scenery. I'm glad I left the towns that I left, dog, because if I didn't, I would see the same things. And those same things that I see on a regular basis often take me backwards. So sometimes you got to remove yourself from your environment. I don't care if it's forced or not. Remove yourself from your environment so that you don't see things that remind you of who you used to be if you're trying to get the fuck away from who that is. Let's get on it, man. You guys have my book suggestion. If there are any other questions, feel free, man. No problem, man. Appreciate all the advice. I appreciate everything you guys do. For me, you guys tap in on a weekly basis, man. It's love. Make sure you guys hit the subscription button if you have not. Also, leave us a review if you can. We really appreciate it, man. Anytime, because it's hard to get reviews on iTunes. Really difficult. So if you guys could show me some love, head on over to iTunes, drop a few lines on what this is doing for you on a regular basis. I will greatly appreciate it. But until next week, that will conclude our weekly tap in. I am tapping out.